The Immortals of Persia. Just the name evokes images of invincible warriors, clad in luxurious armor, ready to dominate any battlefield. These legendary soldiers were described as such a flawless force that, even in moments of loss, their formation seemed undiminished, as if they were truly immortal. But did they really exist as the story suggests? Or are they merely the result of propaganda from one of the greatest empires of antiquity? In this video, we will separate myths from historical evidence, delving into who the Immortals of Persia really were. You'll discover how these warriors played a fundamental role at the height of the Achaemenid Empire, protecting one of the most advanced civilizations of their time. We'll also dive into the accounts that perpetuated their mythical image, from ancient chronicles to modern popular culture. As we embark on this journey, we'll raise a central question. What can we learn from these historical figures? Beyond the fascination with battles and strategies, the Immortals offer timeless lessons about discipline, organization, and the influence of myth in constructing power. If you've ever wondered what's real and what's legend surrounding these elite troops, now is the time to find out. Get ready to explore the fascinating history of these warriors and discover how they left their mark on history. Historical context of the Persian Empire and the Immortals. To understand the Immortals of Persia, it's essential to dive into the historical context that gave rise to this legendary force. We're talking about the period when the Achaemenid Empire, founded by Cyrus the Great, emerged as one of the greatest powers of antiquity. This vast empire, stretching from Egypt to India, was not only a landmark of territorial power, but also an impressive example of administration, culture, and military advancement. Under the leadership of Cyrus and his successors, such as Darius I and Xerxes I, the empire reached an unprecedented level of organization. To keep this vast network of territories united, it required an army that not only defended the borders, but also served as a symbol of strength and stability. This is where the Immortals come into the picture, occupying a central position in the Persian army and standing out as an elite force that represented the empire's unity and supremacy. The choice of the name Immortals was no accident. It symbolized an unshakable force, always complete, regardless of losses in battle. Accounts claim that whenever a soldier fell, he was immediately replaced, ensuring the continuity of an army that seemed literally eternal. This idea wasn't just a functional characteristic, but also a powerful psychological element that intimidated enemies and inspired allies. Beyond their military importance, the Immortals also had a political role. They served as the king's personal guard and participated in the most critical campaigns, protecting the empire's sovereignty and projecting the image of an invincible ruler. This combination of military presence and political propaganda made the Immortals a lasting symbol of Achaemenid power, revered by the Persians and feared by their adversaries. Understanding the context in which these warriors operated helps us grasp their historical significance. They weren't just soldiers, but part of a larger mechanism that sustained the dominance of one of the greatest empires of the ancient world. Now that we have this background, it's time to explore how myths and propaganda shaped the perception of these warriors over the centuries. Myths and propaganda of the Immortals. The Immortals of Persia have always been shrouded in mystery, much of which can be attributed to military propaganda and the accounts of chroniclers like Herodotus. Known as the father of history, Herodotus provided some of the most well-known descriptions of the Immortals. However, like many ancient narratives, his works blended facts with interpretations that favored dramatism and, often, the Greek perspective as adversaries of the Persians. According to Herodotus, the Immortals were an elite force consisting of exactly 10,000 soldiers. The constant number was one of the key pillars of the myth. Whenever a warrior fell, another immediately took his place, keeping the formation intact. This detail, combined with their luxurious and ornate uniforms, created the image of an almost supernatural army, an eternal, tireless force. To the Greeks and other enemies of Persia, this reputation was terrifying, functioning as a psychological weapon as powerful as the spears and swords the Immortals wielded. Another myth associated with the Immortals was their supposed invincibility. The very name suggested they were immortal not only in number, but also in skill. It was said that their discipline was unmatched and that they fought with a precision that made them an unbeatable war machine. However, it's essential to remember that these accounts often came from external sources, such as enemies or distant allies, who had a vested interest in exaggerating or romanticizing Persian strength, either to magnify their own victory or justify their defeat. In addition to these chronicles, internal propaganda from the Achaemenid Empire played a crucial role in perpetuating these myths. The Persians understood the importance of projecting power and stability in such a vast and diverse empire. The Immortals became the perfect symbol of this strength, representing loyalty to the king and the continuity of the empire. Their image was carefully crafted to inspire confidence within the empire and instill fear in its adversaries. While myths were effective tools of propaganda, they also served a practical purpose. They fostered a sense of identity and superiority within the Persian army, motivating soldiers to uphold the high standards for which they were known. Beyond the empire's borders, these same myths destabilized enemies, who often entered battles already feeling inferior to the Immortals' reputation. However, as we'll see in the next chapter, not everything said about the Immortals withstands historical scrutiny. While some parts of the myth find support in archaeological evidence and reliable accounts, others are clearly the product of exaggerations and misinterpretations. It's time to separate fact from fiction and reveal the true face of the most famous warriors of the Persian Empire. The historical reality of the Immortal Warriors. While myths surrounding the Immortals of Persia are captivating, the real history of these warriors is equally impressive. Even without the exaggerations that surround their legendous and elite force within the Achaemenid army, the Immortals weren't immortal in the literal sense, but their rigorous training, impeccable organization, and strategic role made them a fundamental pillar in defending and expanding the Persian Empire. The composition of the Immortals was a blend of diversity and uniformity. They were selected from among the empire's finest soldiers, which meant they included individuals from various ethnicities, reflecting the multicultural nature of Persian rule. Despite this, the Immortals maintained a standardized appearance on the battlefield, a factor that contributed to their mythical aura. They wore decorative tunics, sometimes adorned with gold and jewels, and wielded lethal weapons such as short spears, bows, swords, and light shields. Organizationally, the Immortals were divided into smaller units, facilitating command and control on the battlefield. Their ability to operate as a unified force and their reputation for never breaking formation were crucial in combat situations. Despite their military prowess, the Immortals also had ceremonial and political roles. They protected the king and were often regarded as his personal guard, emphasizing their practical and symbolic importance. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Immortals was their replenishment system. The unit's number of 10,000 soldiers was consistently maintained, meaning that when a warrior was wounded, killed, or incapacitated, another was immediately integrated into the unit. This system was as much a reflection of the Persian Empire's administrative efficiency as it was a strategy to maintain high morale and the troops' image of invulnerability. This practice, which Herodotus described as a supernatural element, was in reality an advanced example of military logistics. However, evidence suggests that the Immortals were not invincible, as indicated by the Persian Empire's defeats in the Greco-Persian Wars. In the Battle of Thermopylae, for example, the Immortals faced unexpected challenges against the Greek forces led by Leonidas. Despite their reputation, they failed to overcome the strategy and formation of the Spartan-led forces, showing that, while formidable, they also had human and tactical limitations. Modern archaeology also contributes to demystifying the Immortals. Excavations and analyses of Persian artifacts have revealed details about their weapons, armor, and organizational structures, painting a clearer and more human picture of these warriors. While direct evidence supporting some of Herodotus's descriptions, such as extravagant uniforms and immediate replacements, is lacking, there is consensus that the Immortals were an exceptional military force for their time. Thus, the historical reality of the Immortals is a combination of discipline, advanced training, and administrative efficiency. While they weren't literally immortal, Their ability to create an illusion of invulnerability and their strategic importance made them one of the greatest symbols of Persian power. In the next chapter, we'll examine how this reputation was tested in some of history's most famous battles. Participation of the Immortals in iconic battles. The Immortals of Persia were not merely symbols of power and discipline within the Achaemenid Empire. They played critical roles in some of the most significant battles of ancient history. As an elite force, their presence in combat not only bolstered Persian morale, but also had a psychological impact on their enemies. However, their contributions ranged from strategic victories to defeats that exposed the limits of this legendary troop. One of the most well-known campaigns involving the Immortals was the Greco-Persian Wars, a series of conflicts that pitted the Achaemenid Empire against the Greek city-states. At the Battle of Thermopylae, the Immortals faced the famed 300 Spartans, led by King Leonidas, along with other Greek allies. This battle became a historical and cultural milestone, often romanticized for its narrative of heroic resistance against an overwhelmingly superior enemy. Although the Persians ultimately emerged victorious at Thermopylae, the Immortals' performance was not as decisive as expected. Confronting a highly disciplined Greek phalanx formation, the Immortals struggled to break through the defensive lines effectively. This highlighted the limitations of their tactics against innovative strategies. Nevertheless, their ability to maintain pressure and formation contributed to the eventual Persian success, albeit at significant cost. Another notable example of their strategic involvement was at the Battle of Plataea, which marked the Persians' final defeat in the Greco-Persian Wars. While less emphasized in accounts of this battle, the Immortals were part of the Persian forces led by Mardonius. Once again, Greek discipline and tactical ingenuity prevailed, as the Spartan phalanx inflicted a crushing defeat on the Achaemenid forces. This loss not only ended the Persian campaign in Greece, but also began to unravel the Immortals' image of invincibility. Beyond the Greco-Persian Wars, the Immortals played significant roles in campaigns within the empire itself. Under Darius I, for instance, they were instrumental in quelling uprisings in regions such as Babylon and Egypt, ensuring internal stability. In these scenarios, their ability to operate as a mobile and well-organized force was crucial in restoring order in territories that were both culturally diverse and politically challenging. Despite their prestige, the Immortals' performance in battles reveals that their fame as invincible warriors was largely fueled by propaganda. They were a highly efficient and disciplined force, but like any elite troop, they faced limitations when confronted with innovative tactics or unfavorable conditions. Their victories and defeats reflect both the glory and the challenges faced by one of the most iconic military forces of antiquity. In the next chapter, we will explore how the Immortals transcended military history to become enduring figures in popular culture, continuing to influence perceptions far beyond the borders of the ancient Persian Empire. Cultural legacy and representations of the Immortals. The Immortals of Persia did not remain confined to historical accounts and the battles of their time. Their powerful and enigmatic image transcended centuries, becoming an icon that continues to influence popular culture and how we perceive ancient military history. From classical texts to modern films, the Immortals are portrayed as invincible warriors with an aura of mystery that continues to captivate audiences. The narrative surrounding the Immortals was initially perpetuated by Greek historians, particularly Herodotus. While his accounts form the basis of what we know about these warriors, it's important to recognize that his descriptions often romanticized or exaggerated certain aspects to create either a heroic or demonized view of the Persian Empire. This duality helped cement the Immortals as symbols of irresistible power, used to glorify Greek victories or emphasize the perceived threat posed by the Persians. Over the centuries, the influence of the Immortals extended beyond academic texts. In modern popular culture, they gained significant attention through the film 300, 2006, a stylized adaptation of the Battle of Thermopylae. In this film, the Immortals are depicted as almost monstrous figures, wearing golden masks and dark armor, embodying the strength and mystery associated with the troop. While visually striking, This portrayal is largely fictional, but underscores the cultural impact these warriors continue to have. Beyond cinema, the Immortals appear in video games, historical fiction, and museum recreations. They are often used as references to explore themes of discipline, loyalty, and military strategy. In many of these contexts, the aesthetics and reputation of the Immortals are adapted to fit contemporary narratives, highlighting their relevance as timeless icons. The legacy of the Immortals also reflects how we understand the use of military propaganda. They are a perfect example of how an army's image can be as powerful as its battlefield accomplishments. The name Immortals not only served to intimidate the enemies of the Persian Empire, but also inspired its soldiers and united the diverse peoples under Achaemenid rule. While the real history of the Immortals is less fantastical than their popular representations, their cultural influence is a testament to their significance. They transcended history as an elite force to become symbols of power and resilience, evoking admiration and curiosity across generations. In the next chapter, we'll analyze how the lessons of the Immortals can be applied in modern contexts, revealing the enduring impact these warriors have on our understanding of strategy, leadership, and organization. Modern lessons from the Immortals. The Immortals of Persia are not just a fascinating relic of history. They also offer lessons that remain relevant today. As an elite force built on the pillars of discipline, organization, and strategic purpose, the Immortals demonstrate how the combination of technical skill and psychological impact can be a game-changer in any field of endeavor. One of the most enduring lessons we can learn is the importance of organization and consistency. The Persian system of maintaining a constant force of 10,000 soldiers reflects an unwavering commitment to stability. In modern contexts, this principle translates to the need for well-prepared teams, with reserves ready to step into critical roles when needed, whether in business, sports, or public service. Success often depends on ensuring that the machine keeps running smoothly, even in the face of inevitable losses or setbacks. Another central teaching is the value of collective identity. The Immortals were not just warriors. They were symbols of the Persian Empire's unity and strength. Their uniform appearance and impeccable conduct reinforce this image. Today, organizations can take advantage of this concept by fostering a strong corporate or team culture, where every member understands their role and feels connected to the institution's larger purpose. The ability to intimidate through reputation is another timeless lesson. The Immortals used their name and image to instill doubt in their enemies before a single blow was struck. In the modern world, brands, leaders, and organizations can employ similar strategies to create powerful perceptions that advance their goals, whether launching a product, conducting a marketing campaign, or negotiating deals. Reputation can often pave the way for success before direct competition even begins. Adaptability is another key takeaway. Although their structure was impressive, the Immortals' defeats during the Greco-Persian Wars revealed the limitations of traditional tactics when faced with innovative strategies. This underscores the importance of never becoming overly reliant on established methods and being prepared to confront unexpected challenges with creative solutions. Businesses and individuals alike must embrace innovation to stay competitive and effective in a constantly changing world. Lastly, the legacy of the Immortals shows the enduring power of symbols and narratives. Their stories, whether real or mythologized, continue to inspire admiration and curiosity thousands of years later. This highlights the importance of crafting a message that resonates deeply, something that leaders, educators, and professionals across various fields can use to communicate their visions and values effectively. The Immortals of Persia may not have been truly immortal, but their lessons are timeless. They remind us of the importance of preparation, unity, adaptability, and the stories we tell about ourselves. As we reflect on their history, we see how the past offers insights that can guide us in shaping the future. The Immortals of Persia represent one of the most fascinating chapters in military history, blending historical facts with enduring myths that transcend time. Throughout this video, we've explored how these warriors became symbols of discipline, power, and strategy, not only at the height of the Achaemenid Empire, but also in the collective memory of humanity. We've seen how the Immortals operated as an elite force within the Persian army, playing pivotal roles in historic battles and serving as protectors of the king. We've also uncovered how propaganda helped solidify their reputation, creating an aura of invincibility that inspired allies and intimidated foes. Despite the defeats they faced, their impact on military history and the imagination of future generations remains extraordinary. What makes the Immortals truly captivating, however, is the extent to which we can still learn from them. From lessons on organization and leadership to the importance of crafting powerful narratives, these warriors teach us that history and strategy are deeply intertwined. Even in a modern world, their legacy reminds us of the value of preparation, adaptability, and unity in overcoming challenges. Now, it's your turn to join the discussion. What do you think about the story of the Immortals of Persia? Do you believe their fame as invincible warriors is more myth or reality? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your insights enrich this journey into the past. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to continue exploring the mysteries and lessons history has to offer. The Immortals may not have been literally eternal, but their impact has endured through the centuries. And now, thanks to you, their story continues to be told. See you in the next video.